Well, hello everybody. I'm assuming you can hear me. It's time for Group 1 eSeniors. And we are going to be at Barcelona today, and helping me is going to be Jonathan Wood. You can talk for a couple of sentences, Jonathan, because I'm getting feedback in my headphones for a second. Yeah. Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, no, it's fun. We also, during the week on this track, we've had some issues. So hopefully that won't be the case today. Yeah, no, and the good thing is Group 2 this morning. It was one of our cleanest races ever, actually. Even though there was some side-by-side action. I know I was involved in some, and lots of close racing. But I think Christer said he only had 4 recorded contacts in the whole race.
Oh, how disappointing.
How disappointing. Yeah. It's like NASCAR.
I didn't see it. Who won?
Who won? Don was in third. Hopkins was in second. Why can't I think of who won? It'll come to me. Somebody who doesn't speak English because he couldn't come into he couldn't come into the commentator's booth. So today, who have we got? Oh, you know what? I don't think you were off, Jonathan. Jonathan, you were introduce yourself again. I think I had your audio off.
Uh-oh. Well, I was only talking for the last 5 minutes.
I know, yeah.
It's not a big deal, but no. Good to be here, and hopefully we'll have a incident-filled race.
Yeah, right, exactly, like NASCAR, People want to see crashes. I know lots of people are going to listen. In case they did not see the chat this morning, if you're on SIMGRID and looking at your stats, SIMGRID is automatically going to eliminate your worst race. So because we only had 2 races in, it's going to pick one of the 2 and knock that off in terms of your points. So that's going to happen all year. So if you're looking at the statistics and wondering why it's kind of weird, that's the reason.
And that's a much better way of doing things. I remember during last year we had a season where we had 2 races that could be dropped, and it was very, very unclear. Even after the final race, it was unclear who had won.
Okay, yeah. Okay, for some reason, I don't see your voice on Discord. We'll have to ask, are you watching on YouTube or anything? We'll have to ask.
Yeah, Stefan says that my audio is very low.
Okay, I'll turn it up.
It's as loud as it can be on my end.
Okay, I turned it up quite a bit there, but for whatever reason, it's not recording on my little mixer here. But as long as they can hear you, I turned it up as loud as I could too. So that's not so bad. What else can we talk about today? Interesting track.
Hey man, this is a great track, right? Oh, actually, qualifying has just started.
Just starting now, yeah.
A couple of tidbits about this track. So it was introduced into the Formula One season. I think it was 1991, and that race was won by Nigel Mansell. It was a wet race. You remember that iconic shot of Mansell overtaking Senna going down the pit straight, where they got like 2 inches apart. Really fantastic. There's been some like great races in the past. Remember Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg coming together. I think it was 2015 or 2016.
Yeah.
Opening up that first win from Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
It's a good track.
It's a fun track, and it's always fun. I always get on track just before an F1 race just to remind yourself about all the corners. When it's fun to race yourself on the same track as the F1 guys do.
Yeah, and I guess this season they've actually taken out the chicane, the final chicane.
They have?
Formula One race.
Oh.
So that's going to be pretty freaking awesome. The last time, I think they put the chicane in, I want to say 1994 or 1995, because in 1994 there was a big crash during practice at that last corner, and the guy basically hit the wall and like smashed his legs. I think it was Andrea Montemini in the Simtech. But yeah, it's going to be good because there's going to be plenty of runoff this year, and it's going to be much better for overtaking down that pit straight.
Yeah, is on the stream, guys. If you could chat, did Jonathan's sound get a little bit better? I turned it all the way up, but yeah.
It says that he can barely hear me.
Yeah, well, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but.
Hey.
But yeah, no, we were having trouble with Krista was having trouble with that also. So, it was working earlier this time, so I'll keep an eye on that. I'll just type in here any better. So we're following on with Derek. I think he's the first guy out, if I'm not mistaken. He should be putting up time shortly.
Okay, I'm going to raise my microphone volume in my master settings.
Oh, that sounded better. Right, all of a sudden in my earphones. There we go.
How does it sound now?
In my headset, it sounds great. A lot better.
Too loud or okay?
No, it should be good. That's better.
Okay.
Buckley said no, but that was a little bit of a delay, so we'll see if he responds better. That it's better.
Buckley's just going to say that he doesn't want to hear my voice anyway. But there you go.
Maybe if you keep talking, and I'm gonna. Oh, I can't. I'm gonna see if I can get a second Discord channel started and see what happens.
All right. Well, everyone is on their first laps. Nobody's finished a flying lap yet, but you know, we've got some really big hitters here. So you've got AJ Jones. He's going to be in the top 5, I would suggest. Derek Bird, John Saunders, always are going to be in like the top 4. That guy. Then you have, of course, Carlo Vanderbrandt, and he's always going to challenge. And I know the AMG is great at this track. Chris Bourne in the Lamborghini. That's going to be interesting to see how Chris does in the Lambo, because it's not a great car around here, but Chris is like super talented, so I expect him to go really well. Adam Rios, he told me earlier on that he posted a 144 earlier on in his BMW, so let's see where he gets. Chris Moses was in the low 44s earlier on, so I can expect him to be definitely in the top 4, but either way, you've got a whole bunch of guys who are potentially going to win this race.
Yeah, we're getting times in there at this point too. 145 first lap.
Kenny 145.2, Adam half a second slower, and then Giovanni Nifosi half a second slower as well. So, but these are first laps. This track always takes at least a couple of laps to get into the swing of things. Having said that, I remember, was it last week? Chris Moses, he posted like basically a pole position lap on his first lap. So let's see how he does.
Well, we should be into the 143s, you think?
Yeah, I reckon Chris Moses will be I'd say 43.7. I think
Yeah, there we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's good. It's good to hear. You can concentrate on the race now. I turned it down a little bit just to see if that was the issue. I'll turn it back up slightly. Now we got some car sounds.
Who's KB Smith? So we have a new driver. He just posted a 44.7. He's
Oh.
in P2.
What country is that too? MER apostrophe.
Merca.
Good. Well, let's see what his first name is here. I'll tell you in a second, so we get it right. His first name shows KB, so I guess we'll call him KB.
John Saunders, a 44.1. That's pretty darn competitive. And less than a tenth second behind him is Carlo.
Everybody's nicely spaced there, and looks like so that's going to be nice. Nobody's going to run into too much traffic.
AJ's putting together a nice lap here. And his first decent lap gets him into P8.
Yeah, they're still saying they can hardly hear you, so you're gonna have to either yell or I'll talk more than you do today. So yeah, so everybody, there's the 143 we were looking for Moses, 143.8. 145 and change was the Group 2 time, so there was their separation that everybody has. Looks like everybody's probably at 145 would have got you into the lower midfield only. So I guess we got the groups nicely set. Oh, they said Mr. Woods a little bit better there, so maybe that's better. Oh, I've been following Mr.
I wish they'd make up their bloody minds.
Let's follow along with Chris for a bit. Oh, Van der Braan, he's pole position now. Let's just look at that.
All right, I just boosted my volume to 100%, so I can't get any better than that.
There's the Merc. There's our pole sitter right now, Carlo. And he is improving on his time, actually, so that's nice. He's up by a tenth of a second. We'll stay with him while he completes this lap.
So, Carlo at 43.7, and Chris Moses has aborted his lap, and he's almost a tenth of a second behind. John Saunders 4/10 behind. But it'd be interesting to see whether Carlo can go any quicker.
Somebody was asking on the stream this morning whether we could put up the laps deltas, but you can't. That we've been able to find now. Also, Carlos just lost his time. There's improvement, so maybe we'll skip to somebody else. Chris is having a good time. I had a good time. There's announcer's curse for you. He was having a good time at some before as I switched. Who else? Carla, Mr. Santos is 0.6 of a second up on his time, which would get him probably up on the top 10. How is he just starting his lap? Let's try and find somebody who's a little bit closer to the end of their laps.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, Jeremy. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Not good. We're having a little problem with the Discord audio, but that's par for the course. Something's got to go wrong at least once.
Yeah, I was listening. I think it's fine now.
Oh, good.
I don't know if people hear me or not. Anyway, it looks like we're gonna have a great action on the track today from Group 1. It was a great race from Group 2. Very clean start. Very nice to see.
Reason I'm following Mr. Smith here is because he's up a half a second on his time right now. That he'll bring him on to the podium, I think, if he can hold on. He's got a long way to go yet, though. He's the only guy on track that's actually improving by a significant amount. Doesn't look like we have his livery, but he's got a nice red color anyway.
I'm keeping a close eye on Carlo. He's about even with his best time, but we'll see.
Yeah, Kenny Smith used to be with us a while back, and he disappeared, and he just came back this week, so it's good to see him back on track.
That's where I remember. Yeah. I saw that on the chat. Good. Yeah, it's nice to see him. Yeah, he is still up by a third of a second at least, and coming to the last quarter part of his lap actually. So let's see how he goes, how he does. Coming up to the chicane. It's actually a nice picture of the chicane, isn't it?
Stefan says, cannot hear Jeremy or Jonathan.
Oh, man.
So the problem is a settings problem on your side, Mike, because we can hear each other perfectly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can hear you too. Okay, what I'm going to do is...
and apparently there's no car sound either.
Holy smokes, everything's going wrong again. Still no car sounds. Because on my mixer, it's showing everything perfectly. Which is very strange. I boost it up, I keep boosting it, and it shows the boosting on my end, and then nothing happens.
One thing, you did something at one point. I couldn't hear Jonathan, and then you said you made a correction, and I could hear Jonathan again. I don't know what you changed, and if you switched it back now, but.
Yeah, doesn't seem to do much. Doesn't seem to do much at all.
So maybe I should back out.
Yeah, if you try that, maybe that'll help a little bit. But Krista and I were saying it's very mysterious how Discord works on their audio.
I mean, it should just pull in your the
Yeah.
Discord channel,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
it
mean,
does. Yeah, it shows up
it's
here.
not-
Yeah.
It's not individually. So Don
Yeah,
is
but-
saying that Jeremy sounds good now.
No, isn't that
Oh,
interesting?
okay.
It's in and out. Because I didn't change anything. I just put it. It's been boosted to the top, and
But
Okay.
is that on the Twitch stream or the
that's on the YouTube
or the other
stream.
stream? Or the YouTube stream.
Okay, I'm going to
It's
continue.
weird though.
Maverick
It's very-
says sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's just
okay,
leave.
so-
That's good. All right, let's go back to what's race action here. Here's Derek. Derek's improving his time a little bit.
Yeah, Carlo is still holding P1 and very close.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Chris Moses right behind John Saunders. Kenny Smith, first race with us. Pretty impressive P4 there.
Let's follow Chris Bourne. He just started a lap. He's in turn 3.
Let's watch his.
Coming down into turn 4 now, where Lewis and Nico had their little contretemps. This is a difficult little left-hander right here. You've got to really get on the gas as early as possible. This next left-hander is my favorite on the course. It's like off camber. You've got to get on those curbs on the left and
Yeah.
try and miss the curbs on the right.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
almost
you see,
lost it
yeah,
there.
You see, he had a little twitch there. This is another great corner. Just a little lift. Get
Yep.
back on the gas
Yeah.
as early as possible to shoot you down the straight. Carlos just called out that is a personal best for him. That
Oh, nice.
that 43.7. Yeah, good stuff.
I'm not. Has he had a pole before? You think? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I mean, you know, Carlo's very strong everywhere. Let's face it.
Yeah, nice.
yeah,
Mercedes
Chris
in
is down
top.
by almost a full second on this lap.
Mercedes leading. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, I think he started with that car. And he's getting better every race. He's getting the handle down with that car. I mean, I think there's another Mercedes in Group 2. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there is. He
who's
was
driving
following
it.
me. Yeah. He was up my tail today. Yeah, I forgot who it was. Yeah, one Mercedes there too.
So
Oh.
Kenny is now in P5. He pipped Chris Bourne. So you've got your top 6 is Carlo, then Chris Moses, John Saunders, Derek Bird in P4 in his Porsche, Kenny Smith, that's pretty awesome, in the AMR, and Chris Bourne in the Lambo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very surprising to see Chris in the Lamborghini. It's a very interesting choice he made this year.
Well, he's trying to make it more interesting, you know, because I mean, you know, he's been racing like some really top cars, right? And
Yeah.
the Lamborghini, you know, that car, he's really an underdog in that car. So, you know, we know how talented he is. He's extremely quick and very, very smooth. And
AJ,
good with his
I'm just jumping
racecraft.
in here. AJ jumped
Yeah.
from 10th to 4th.
Yeah.
Against-
That's awesome. So, okay, so last week, right, we had AJ and Chris Moses get into it in what, turn 2, turn 3?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen here? I mean, what are they going to be thinking, right? There's been a lot of discussion
Here
during
come-
this week.
Here comes
So-
Nikos. He's got a tenth of a second coming up, or a minute. Yeah. So he'll jump into 12 or something. That's a new livery. That looks nice. Italy.
Yeah, I heard Nikos' name as well. Nikos isn't driving. Do you mean?
Oh, sorry,
Giovanni?
Nifosi.
Do you mean
So
Nifosi?
Giovanni. Yeah. What am I saying? Oh God, he got it.
What? What did
He
he do
got.
there?
Here, let's go back. Let's go
That was a
back
bit
15
odd.
sec-
That looked like he actually just got killed.
He did. And
Somebody
There
called
it
the air ambulance.
Wow, look at
Holy
that.
moly.
Boom. Oh. That was pretty
It
bad.
looked like, yeah, he decided to abort that run. It looked like.
Maybe.
It was a bit odd because he was up. But anyway,
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting, very close times. I mean, when you look at the top 10 in the same second,
Wow.
yeah, that could be a pretty thrilling start. Hopefully those guys will be careful, because the idea is not to take out anyone and have a close race. and challenge for the podium. Let's see what happens. My guess is that it will be a clean start, the same way Group 2 did. I think last week race was a good rehearsal, and now everybody's cooling down a little bit and making an effort to put in that clean first lap.
Right. So earlier in the week, there was some discussion about 3 wide racing down the pit straight here, and a lot of people were saying, yeah, you shouldn't do 3 wide racing. I digress. I think 3 wide racing is easily doable here at Barcelona, especially at the start. But I want to see what happens, because Chris Moses hasn't had particularly good starts, and I've noticed that into turn 1 in several races he's been very, very hesitant, and he's just left the door wide open. So he's not on pole position here. He's in P2. So is he going to get is he going to get leapt by John Saunders and AJ? Because I think AJ's got a point to prove here.
I disagree with you. I think 3 in the same corner is asking for trouble.
Well, not in the same corner, Jeremy.
On the straight.
On the straight.
Yeah, on the straight, it's okay. I mean, and even then, I mean, you're asking for trouble. The idea, unless you have 3 drivers very aware of each other's position on the radar and on the track,
and that's difficult. That's difficult. But it is. If you're approaching the corner three wide, right, the guy on the inside, you've got to make way for him, right? Otherwise, you're going to have a crash, and the guy on the outside has to lift. But
somebody's got to give.
You've got to have that awareness. But 3 wide into the braking zone is totally doable. I've done it many times myself. Jaime, he said he's closing his eyes now, so I would do that. Yeah, shut your eyes going into turn 1.
Yeah, because you got such a long straight, you got so much speed up there. It's interesting, just like the F1 race, really, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's see how many liveries I got this week. I did do another sync. I didn't look like
the only difference with an F1 is like an F1 is glued to the track. I mean, a GT3 is not.
Right. But in NASCAR they could do 3, 4 abreast. IndyCar, you've seen them do 4 abreast at Indy.
True. Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
So it's about the drivers. There's plenty of drivers on this grid who I would go 3 abreast with, and because I trust them. And there's others that I absolutely wouldn't, because I know they're going to crash me. I'll mention no names. Adam Rios.
I wish you were driving, by the way, Jonathan.
I know,
Too bad you can't.
Yeah, I need to stop, mate. At least for a while. I tried to race last weekend in our Sunday race.
Yeah, I know.
I raced with automatic gearbox. I took the pole position, won the race, and really paid for it with a sleepless night that night. So that's it.
Yeah.
Just bumping around here looking at liveries. I like Giovanni's livery. Have I seen that one before? Looks like a little Italian blend.
We've got 30 seconds left.
Yep.
So hope everyone starts their engines. You too, John Saunders. Start your bloody engine.
20 seconds.
Here we go.
Seconds.
So we'll start with these 3. And it should start any second now. There we go.
So who's going to win?
Good question.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
My money is on Carlo.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit Moses. Yeah. I'll take Moses.
I'm gonna go with Carlo as well.
That's a little ragged start. We got lots of time to. How's everybody lining up? Not bad. Okay, let's get back to the front for the excitement. We'll go right with Carlos so we see everything happening. Here it comes.
Green light.
Green, green, green. Here we go.
That's it.
Moses is lagging a little bit.
Yeah, so you see no 3 cars side by side. That's pretty good.
Oh, there's a little bit of the tap.
Yeah, Chris Moses a lot more decisive on that start, and really he made a really good start.
Yeah, he did.
Nice side by side, lots of side by side. Isn't that nice to see? No incidents.
Very nice, very nice.
There we go. Let's get back to the front. Oh, this is going to be a great start. First few laps. Yeah, very well matched at the top, aren't they?
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see once they get the rhythm going.
Hang on, there's oh, that's an interesting place. Look, they just barely. That was as close to trading paint as you can get. Well, that was. And there's the back of the pack. See how we're doing up front. First 4 guys are starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they're pulling away a little bit from Derek Bird.
Yeah.
Half
Still
a
early.
second away. It is,
Still early,
yeah. One lap yet.
Yeah.
So everyone seems to be behaving themselves.
There's
interestingly.
somebody off. It's,
Yeah,
Goddard.
it's very nice to see. Very disciplined, very
Ooh.
clean first lap.
That was a very weird.
It can be done.
That was
And
a very
now,
weird for Goddard. We're still in replay mode here. Goddard was off. And it looked like just a snap. Huge snap. Here's our top 3. Let's just look at it from Saunders' point of view for a bit. I wouldn't like the bonnet view.
John Saunders has the fastest lap so far. He's in P3.
Yeah, and Chris is staying with Carlo. So, and you know, over a race distance, you know, who's faster? Is it Chris? Is it Carlo? Is it John? Because
Yeah,
they're tied together right now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to know until we get to the pit stops. I think by then we'll have a clearer idea.
And just look at this stream of cars here.
Ooh, Carlo just went white.
Oh,
Carlo went white.
Yeah, he did.
And Chris is going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Chris is on the outside, going down into the braking zone for the left-handed hairpin, but Carlo is using his right to do what he's doing there, but he's got Chris on the outside, and I think Chris has taken.
Oh, look at this!
John Saunders has taken and a little bit of contact there between Saunders and Carlo.
Yeah, so Carlo lost good momentum there.
Yep, AJ has got past him as well. So I think John Saunders was in the right there because he had got fully inside of Carlo, and Carlo just kind of turned in a little bit.
I'm gonna go back 60 seconds and watch that whole process again. Look at this. It's starting off there okay, and then we're gonna see Carlos make a slight mistake, I guess. But look how far apart they are here.
He just went wide.
On the grass. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this whole sequence was pretty cool too. Because they're neck and neck now. Oh, he just had the inside track, didn't he? Just too far to go around. Oh, look at that. Just barely touched on it. Carlos might have been the one that initiated that one a little bit. Okay, just get back to real time.
No harm, no foul though, because John Saunders is now in P2, and he's really challenging Chris Moses, and I'm sure Carlo will be back on it. But of course, he's now got AJ and John between he and Chris Moses. But we've got pit stops yet.
Yeah, that's true. If you look at what Bird is looking at, he can see everybody. So we've got a great top 10.
And Derek Bird just did the fastest lap.
Did he?
So, yeah, he's attacking right now.
He did, yeah. He's attacking Carlo, but that Porsche just doesn't have the grunt down the straight.
That's
does it?
right.
So he's gonna have to wait for a mistake, which Carlo may have just done his one mistake of the race.
Now Chris is coming up the back too. Look at, oh, this is a great top 10. We're all in contention.
Yeah, Peter Lafrance is tremendously well as well. He was reluctant to go to Group 1.
Here he is now.
But he's doing a great job.
There he is right here, 9th place, not very far. The camera views on this track are beautiful. Nice views. So how are we doing up front? There's Chris.
Yeah, Chris is he's starting to build a little gap.
And these guys are
Saunders.
Moses and Saunders are building a bit of a gap to AJ also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, looks like we're going to be following lots of excitement today. They're not going to get strung out too much, I don't think.
There's a nice little battle going on between Kenny Flenstead, Peter Lafrance, Adam Rios, and Mircea Pelnov for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. They're all just very, very close.
Yes.
Just waiting for something to happen between those four.
Yeah, 3 BMWs in a row there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's one. There's Rios. Made a mistake.
Yep.
So he's going to go back of that pack.
Yeah, Rios trying to BMW for the first time, by the way.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he
Switched
switched
cars.
cars. Yes, he did.
Chris is still up Derek's tail.
Yeah, Chris is attacking Derek. Derek is right behind Carlo, but Carlo now is seriously pressuring AJ Jones.
Yeah, I've been watching Chris Bourne actually down the straight the last 2 laps, and you can see his car is significantly faster than the Porsche. So, he just needs to get a little bit closer, and he should be able to challenge down the pit straight.
And he should be able to hold off the Lamborghini because, well, look at that Lamborghini come up behind him there.
No, it's the Lambo that's quick in Chris Bourne's hand. So he's running a little bit less wing, but that V10 engine is he's got a mighty amount of grunt compared to the Porsche.
Even in the corners, you think he's got the
No,
advantage?
it's not so good in the corners.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Chris Bourne behind the wheel,
Oh, that's
so
true.
he knows he needs
That's
to
right.
be closer, and he needs to be better going in and out of that final chicane.
Isn't this a great view? I love this view. Reminds me a little too much of NASCAR, but I like the view. Oh, here we go.
Ooh! Yeah, so Carlo now very close. Derek very close behind
Yep.
Carlo.
Oh, he almost took advantage of
And
that. All
Chris
3 of them.
coming right behind Derek. It's like very intense racing there.
Yeah, this is great because these 3 guys, they've been at the head of the field for the last 2 years at eSeniors, so it's just really nice seeing them going hammer and tongs, not for the lead. So
Yeah.
everything to play for.
There's probably a lot going on in the back of the field. I think I'm going to have to do a midfield madness on this one because there's lots going on behind that we're not watching, but this is too exciting to get away from, isn't it?
You're right. There's a lot of close battles, and it's all down, all the way down the field. So it's difficult. It's difficult to keep track of everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big battle going on between Craig Holmes, Kev Forrest, Krista Hjort, and Billy Stewart for 14th through 18th.
Yes.
They're all within half a second or so of one another.
Yeah. Okay, I'll promise I'll take an hour tonight to show the back guys. But this is just this is pretty amazing. Well, you know what? They're spreading out slightly here.
Yeah, they're settling down a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah.
After that last little mistake that we had from AJ that closed them up.
Ponoff's making a move here on La France. And he looks like he's going to make it stick.
Yep, good job.
Yeah, that's a good braking corner, that one. As long as you can hold it through the corner. Now the curbs here are easy to, not too many cars get out of sorts on the curbs here. They're pretty forgiving, aren't they?
There's a couple of curbs that are really not forgiving at all. That
chicane,
left-hander around the back of the circuit, and the chicane. You can't get over. I mean, they're not even curbs, are they?
They're sausages. Yeah.
They just like absolutely smash you. So forget about those.
It's hard to get away from these three guys.
And John Saunders is still less than a second behind Chris Moses.
That's true. Yeah. He's actually caught up a little bit, hasn't he? Let's take a look at what he's looking at here. That's what he's looking at.
The two in front are pulling away from the rest, and because now AJ Jones is 4 seconds behind, so he might be holding Carlo a little bit. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think inevitably he's holding him up just a little bit, but AJ's been like the revelation of the last two races. I think he's been brilliant, especially in Kyalami. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he's a great driver. Look how close those guys are. It's absolutely amazing.
But this track has always been difficult to pass on, and it's also provided some really bad races, at least in Formula One. Over the years, you only get a good race here in Formula One if it's wet, it seems.
So Chris Moses just did the fastest lap of the race.
Is that right? Saunders is sticking with him, though.
And wait, Saunders is right behind him now. He's getting closer to him, actually.
Yeah, he's only.
He is. Yep.
He's only 7/100ths of lap for their best laps.
Yeah, I think he's actually closer than it says on the timing board, because Chris made just a little mistake there.
0.6, half a second.
Yeah.
And
and he's in the slipstream now as well.
Well, Chris has got the best first and second sectors, but Saunders has got the best third sector by about 6/100ths of a second, actually. They're pulling away still. I think they're 4 seconds behind Jones, right? And they're probably holding these guys up a little bit, aren't they? Where's the bird? There's the bird in the middle. He's not making any mistakes. That's the issue, Jones.
Yeah,
he's defending well.
Yeah, these four guys are not making any mistakes. I mean, the only one who did was Carlo early on, and he lost two positions because of that. But he seems to be back in the rhythm now.
And here's a big long train of cars also battling for 18th to 14th. There's a little bit closer here.
Peter LaFrance just went
off. Yeah, right in front of us here.
He's getting passed by a bunch of folks now.
Yeah.
He's dropping down the leaderboard. I think he just dropped behind Krista.
Yeah.
That
means he'll be in 18th place.
Yeah.
And he's actually being challenged also by Giovanni Nafosi, who's gone by. Yeah. And Don Harvey he was a little bit cheeky. He just popped his nose in at the hairpin as well. So that's Peter has gone all the way down to, I think, 19th or 20th position.
This is quite a battle for these guys.
Saunders is getting closer and closer to Chris Moses.
Let's look to that.
He is. He's really starting to put on the pressure now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's putting the pressure for sure.
It's just clean lines.
And both of them now are put an extra second between them and P3. So they are both pushing pretty hard, and we are 10 minutes from the first pit stop, so that should be interesting. I wish there was more of a strategy to be played with pit stops, but I don't think actually there is.
Well, you still have to have the skill to be able to actually go in, and their pit window's now open, by the way.
Yeah,
but you've still got to have the right kind of skill to maximize the time going in the pits and stopping on your marks and getting the job done, because it's really easy to lose 1, 2, 3, 5 seconds very easily. And if you've got these two guys, you've got Chris and John, there's like half a second between them. So if Chris does like screw up just a tiny little bit on that pit stop and just stops a little bit short or a little bit long, that's going to be enough time for John to get him in the pit stop.
Here's one of the issues: you don't get a lot of tire wear issues in our short ones. If it'd be more interesting if we were getting a lot more tire wear, and staying out longer would affect your lap times.
Yeah.
Does time acceleration do anything to tire wear? Oh, there's something going on here. Vanderbrand's passing Jones.
Yeah, Carlo on the outside. Is he going to make it stick?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope.
AJ sticks to the line, and he has to wait for another lap.
Yep.
But he's piling on the pressure, isn't he, Carlo?
Yeah. There's Christer's making a move here.
Yeah, Krista sitting behind Kev Forrest in his Lexus. And he's got the inside here. He's got a good run, isn't he? Looks like he's taken the place.
Let's see what happens in his corner.
Oh, Kev pinches him off.
Nice racing.
Yeah, really good, clean racing, respectful.
Who's that
hard
coming up
racing
behind
as well?
Forrest, right behind them.
Yeah, Don Harvey is in on the action. He's very, very close behind Krista now as well. And Peter is dropping back. He's now 5 seconds behind these three.
Well, something happened because now Carlo is P6. We missed part of the action here.
Here, I'll go back a minute.
Chris Bourne now is attacking AJ Jones, but Carlo lost two extra positions. I don't know what happened.
Something happened
there
right here. because Chris Bourne took Derek Bird as well.
Yeah, that's right. So something happened.
I'm watching it on the stream. We're watching it there. So
and here's Bourne. Bourne is going to try.
Yeah, 7th, 8th, and 9th are in the pits.
Yeah.
So Chris, Derek, and Kenny.
That's right.
So the guys on the stream saw it. Moses made a tiny mistake. Carlos started to take advantage of it, and then they just touched, and Carlos went wide.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, that's too bad.
Ooh.
Who are you watching there, Jonathan?
Yeah, I think I'm watching what happened with Carlo. Yeah, there was a little bit of contact, and he was pushed wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
onto the grass. Yeah, he's not going to be a happy camper, I'll tell you that.
No, he was pushed. There might be a penalty there. We'll see what the stewards decide. In the meantime, Chris now is really applying pressure on Ken Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, and Derek Bird just hit the pit exit sign and made it go flying. But as they come out of the pits, so Derek Bird is still ahead of Carlo. So they both made very, very similar pit stops. They were probably both perfect pit stops, but there's about a good second and a half between them as they come out of the pits in 17th and 18th place. But they are the first two to pit.
Okay,
Chris made it. Oh, there goes Chris into the pits. There goes Chris into the pits.
Chris Bourne is going into the pits.
Which Chris?
Chris Bourne.
Chris Bourne. Chris Bourne.
So John Saunders is still only half a second behind Chris Moses.
Yep,
He's piling it on.
He's not letting go. Those guys are going to race to the last second, I guess.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what the pits will do here, because who's going to blink first, go into the pits, and then what's going to happen when they come out?
Yeah, good question.
So close. All race they've been so close. you got to think that neither one should risk too much because the pit stop is going to make the big difference here. You know,
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if Chris and John Saunders hit together.
And John's behind, so he could do the undercut.
The fact is now, both of them pulled a 7-second gap with P3.
So what's going to be interesting here is see where Chris Bourne comes out. He's coming out of the pits right now, and I'm assuming he's going to be ahead of Derek Bird and Carlo. And yeah, he is. I can't even see him down the pit road. Here he comes. So it looks like Derek has Carlo right on his tail, and they're probably a good like 2.5-3 seconds behind Chris Bourne. But they're going at it hammer and tongs. You know, Carlo is really applying the pressure on Derek.
Derek just came out of the pits, so his tires will be cold, huh?
Well, Chris just came out of the pits.
Chris did.
Both
Okay.
Derek Bird and Carlo came out of the pits together on the previous lap.
Okay. But yeah, this is what, for second and third probably, right?
Yeah, top four, definitely. Well, it really depends on where AJ, turns out after he's come out of the pits.
Yeah, so Chris and John should come in. Maybe this lap they will come in.
Yeah, let's hope they come in together.
Yeah, I believe they will.
Wouldn't you do an undercut, Jonathan? If you
I would try. I mean, if you're John Saunders, you're going to wait until Chris pits.
think so? Okay.
That's what you're going to do. Yeah, because Chris's outlap will be slower than he could possibly go, and in which point, John is going to basically probably gain at least a second. But then, when they do the switcheroo, if John comes out ahead after the pit stops, then, he's going to be on cold tires, and then Chris is going to be on hot tires, and he's going to be, right off his jacksie. So, we'll see. But here they come into the last chicane. Let's see if either of them flinch and go into the pits.
Nope.
No.
No, let's wait for another lap.
Let's wait for another lap. Oh, Derek's making a move on Bourne. I don't have Bourne's livery. Oh no, sorry, Carlos. Oh, Carlos, a little wheel spin there.
So Chris Bourne is maintaining a 2-second lead in 14th place over Carlo, who has taken Derek Bird.
Yeah.
So this effectively is the race for either third or fourth position here. Third through fifth.
Flip that out a little for a second. No, Krister's in the pits. All right.
Yeah, I got a few pitters. Kenny Smith is in the pits. Rogerio Santos is in the pits, and Krista Hjort.
Yeah, Krista.
And Jeremy Arabas is always in the pits.
Yeah.
He's just the pits.
We were asking actually last week what you actually do while you're in the pits, Jeremy, because you spend so much time there. We couldn't figure it out.
I'm not in the car.
Having an ice cream or something, maybe.
Yeah, that's it.
Like the Iceman.
Okay, are these guys coming in to pit, or let's see what they decide?
Let's see what they decide. Yeah, here comes Chris Moses. Okay.
And now
no,
Carlos
Chris Moses is coming in.
Only Chris.
Yeah. So
Okay.
John Saunders is staying out. So let's see if that he can do the overcut.
Okay. Who said pit stops weren't exciting?
Jeremy said it.
No, what I think is that it's not a strategy turning point, but maybe I'm wrong.
It can be, and we've seen it time and time again in Formula One, where the car behind, which is obviously faster than the car in front, just waits for the car in front to pit, or it does an overcut or an undercut, and winds up a couple of seconds ahead.
But it's tires that make the biggest component there, because they're all so even.
But there must be like a clear advantage that one car has over the other, and it's not really clear whether John Saunders was in fact faster than Chris Moses. They might have just been exactly the same speed, and we'll see what happens when it comes to making a mistake during that pit stop, because all is going to be told in just a moment. So John Saunders is about 2/3 of the way around the lap. Let's see if he actually ducks into the pits.
Yeah. Chris had some great stats with his pit wall subscription there about how long the pit stops were, how long it took for the whole delta for taking a pit stop and all that. Okay, here he comes.
So John Saunders' last lap was a second off what he can do.
He's coming in now.
There he is. Yeah, there he goes.
Yep, he is coming in. Ooh, he's really hot coming in as well.
Let's see what happens now.
Okay, we'll follow Moses along. Let's see how.
Out of the pitters, Chris Moses is 10 seconds to the good over Chris Bourne.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
AJ Jones, and AJ has pitted as well. We might have missed that. So AJ is pitted, and he's behind Chris Bourne in the Lambo as well. Is that Mars?
Yes, that is Mars. He's dreaming. He's dreaming.
He's on your lap, I guess.
Yeah, he's on my lap and he's dreaming.
So here comes Moses around.
Okay, so let's see what happens now.
And look, that John is on his way out of the pits. Meanwhile,
Great view
Mircea
here.
Paunov is leading from Kev Forrest. But this is the battle we want to see, and Chris Moses is going by right now, and he's going to make it.
There you go.
And status quo.
Yeah,
quo.
Almost exactly. Look, they're like a beautiful.
Yeah, except that now one has much harder tires than the other one.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Yeah, so Chris is going to gain momentum.
Yeah, Chris will make that gap a little bit bigger, I'm sure. But yeah, that's a bit disappointing, I have to say.
Well, I think they should have pitted together. I question staying out an extra lap, but
Moses took a pretty quick dive, didn't he? If I remember, he didn't telegraph it too much, did he?
No, you're right. He didn't. It was very last moment.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got for position here. Any values?
yeah, see, John Saunders now is a second and a half behind when he used to be. So he lost a second.
And check it out. So Mircea is, he's leading, but he's just pitted. Oh, Kev Forrest is pitted. I thought maybe Kev was going to pull out what he did last week and lead some laps. But so the top three, Mircea, Kev, and Billy Stewart, they're all in the pits. Chris Moses in P4 will be in P1 in just a moment.
Yes.
So then it'll be Chris Moses, John still, Chris Bourne in the Lambo, then AJ will be 4th and Carlo 5th, Derek 6th. Carlo got a really good exit out of the last turn there, and he's towing up on AJ as he goes down the straight. Let's see if he takes the dive down into turn 1. It's a brave man who would do that. Yeah, he decided no.
But the good thing, he kept his gap. Sometimes when look at this.
Oh, he's trying to poke that long nose of the Mercedes inside that gap. Didn't work. It's got a really long hood, that Merc, isn't it?
Oh yeah. That sounds so great. How much better sound can you get than that?
Oh,
stop and go. Yeah.
Yeah, 30-second stop and go here effectively ends your race, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, technically, yes.
Yeah. So I got a DQ in my race for speeding in spit lane, but it wasn't on the inbound. It was, I think I touched second gear on leaving for a second. There's no way I gotta have to watch to see how fast I was actually going. I was very surprised.
That's pretty harsh.
You got disqualified for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's pretty harsh, yeah.
I'll do my replay and see, and I'll report back what happened and why I disqualified, or why I think I did it anyway. Derek's not too far behind these two boys, isn't he?
No,
he's not.
He's right on them. So I think really what's happening here is AJ is holding up Carlo a little bit, which is enabling Derek to close up. But John Saunders is 2 seconds now down on Chris Moses, so it looks like that might be the lead battle might be over. Let's hope that John can claw it back a little bit.
I believe you're right, and Chris Bourne managed to get that P3, and I don't think anyone will be able to challenge him. The only thing is, if maybe Carlo manages to pass AJ, he has a chance, but it looks like it's not easy to do.
There's a bit of a small battle we haven't watched here. Is Holmes on Witten. We were closer a few seconds ago. That's a brilliant white car. Derek's really caught up here now. He's getting a tow.
Actually, these guys are closing in on Chris Bourne.
Yep.
They are.
So,
yeah,
AJ is only 1.7 seconds behind Chris Bourne, so I wonder if Chris made a mistake, because he was a little bit further ahead than that, wasn't he?
You're right. He was. He must have done something. Something must have happened we didn't see. Well, that could be interesting, because that would be the fight for P3.
Yep.
Yeah, and who doesn't want to be on the podium? But it looks like we've got a really good turnout here for our Group 1 racing. So we've got more than 20 entrants,
that's
which
nice
is
to
really
see.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
It is.
And with a few new faces and a few old faces as well, which is like really welcome. And when is our second birthday here, Jerry?
It's next month, so that's going to be exciting. 2 years. We should celebrate. Actually, our first race was Brands Hatch, so we should do a Brands Hatch. Yeah, I know you were there. We should do a Brands Hatch anniversary race at one point.
I think that's a great idea. I'll drive the ambulance.
Well, look at the dirt on the wing for Witten's car. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody just went off. Giovanni, let's go see what happened to him. Well, looks like an unforced error. He's by himself.
It looks like Tony's got a whole bunch of like dead insects on his rear wing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, just overcooked it on oversteer on the out.
Oh, those guys are very close now. So you have Chris Bourne, AJ, Claro, and Derek almost, bumper to bumper actually.
Yeah. Now Carlo is he's towing up on AJ. And AJ's taking the inside. He's forcing Carlo to go around the outside, which you don't want to do on this corner. And he's really see if Carlo can force the issue and get his nose in there. He's trying, but no, he has to lift.
Oh, and Derek is coming right behind.
Yeah, that's given Derek a little opportunity.
Closed now, closed.
Pit window is closed.
Yeah,
And it looks like everyone is pitted.
except me.
Except
Just
you,
kidding. Yeah, so somehow Chris
Oh,
Bourne
there was a
managed.
little tap.
Chris Bourne, he managed to pull away from those guys. They caught up with him, and then he found a little something.
Yeah, I think what happened there is that Chris probably made a little mistake somewhere and had a big slide and, overheated his tires. And for a couple of laps, he probably had to nurse it a little bit. But now that his tires had cooled down, he's back up to speed.
Yeah.
An incident with Winton and Howells. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, Giovanni left the server.
Oh, and there's a mistake by Carlo, and he might have let Derek by. No, he hasn't. But Derek is really challenging. Carlo made a mistake going into the hairpin there.
Yeah.
He actually tried to challenge AJ, and AJ shut the door. But in doing so, Carlo ran a little bit wide, which gave Derek the opportunity. But now status quo again.
Yeah, I think Derek showed he showed discipline there. He could have been more aggressive, but he chose not to push his luck.
Yeah, I mean, look, I said it last week, didn't I? That both of these guys are the most trustworthy guys that you will race against. Probably the hardest racers, but they respect your space, and you know you can race really hard and fair with them. And they just demonstrated that.
They're all still very close, though.
Yeah.
13 minutes left. There's lots of racing to go now. Yet, I mean.
So it looks like Kev Forrest is challenging Steve Howells. He's like about half a second behind him. That's the closest battle that we have, other than what we see in front of us here.
Derek fell back a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
He's made a slight mistake somewhere.
Yeah, and maybe that will give Carlo the incentive.
Whoa,
no! He hit AJ from behind.
Yeah.
But AJ is carried on.
Yep.
AJ's fine, but it spun Carlo around. And so he's now lost that place to Derek Bird.
We're going to replay here. We'll see it.
So there you go. Commentator's curse, right?
Yeah. Looks like AJ slowed down a little bit going into that corner. I don't know.
Yeah, still he was the car in front. So, once you pick your braking point, no matter who you've got and what the car in front of you is doing, once you pick your braking point, you can't do any more. Right? You can't. So if the car in front does brake a little bit shorter, you're going to hit him. So it's possible that was a mistake by AJ, braking a little bit
Looked
short.
like it, yeah. Looked like it, yeah.
Yep.
Just like insurance company, if you hit somebody from behind, you're at fault.
Yeah, exactly.
But regardless, I think Carlo is having a difficult race today.
He is having a difficult race, yeah. I was going to say. He was your and my pick for the win. And
who picked,
you know what?
Who
He'll
picked
just
Moses?
Pick himself
Who
up,
picked Moses? Who picked Moses?
True.
Yeah, and the gap between Chris Moses and John Saunders is still 2 seconds and not moving. So
No, that's right. Yeah, that was
2.5 now.
Yeah, that was about what they had about after a lap from the pit stop. So the pit stops definitely did it, didn't it? Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And it looks like Chris is definitely nailing that P3, unless AJ Jones. No, AJ Jones is 3 seconds behind. I think it will be difficult for him to make up the gap.
So interestingly here, Billy Stewart is in the 355 Aston. He's actually a lap down. He's actually 2 laps down because he had that stop and go. But he is between Carlo and Merche. So Merche has taken advantage of all the shenanigans ahead of him, and he's only a couple of seconds behind Carlo, but he needs to. And the blue flags are waving now for Billy, so hopefully he'll kind of step aside. He's got the pace, but he's a couple of laps down. He really needs to adhere to those blue flags and let Merche by. And we've had some discussions in the last couple of weeks about blue flags when somebody's
there he goes.
down.
There he goes. He let him by.
Good for him. He's let Merche by. And when it comes to being a few laps down, having pace, but seeing blue flags, you've just got to use your head. It's about having good judgment. There may not be a written rule of what you should do, but it's good judgment to let the people who are challenging for position, to let them through, or not try to challenge them and ruin their race.
Absolutely.
This is the only other battle we got here between Forrest and Howells.
Well, Derek is attacking AJ, and
is he ever?
And I think he can pass him actually.
Well, the question will be, will he be able to hold it after with the Porsche on the straights?
He looks like he has more momentum than AJ, but let's see.
He does. He looks much more nimble than AJ's car right now.
Yeah.
8 minutes to go. There's a lot of time left for those tires to wear out.
Yeah, we've got 4 or 5 laps remaining. AJ's done a great race.
Now, in the last version we got, was it the Audi that got bopped a little bit? Somebody did. Something did. I haven't been following the chat rooms to see what everybody's saying.
No, there was a slight change to the Porsche. Something to do with downforce.
And it was not all tracks either, I think I heard. Only certain tracks.
Something to the McLaren, something to the McLaren as well.
I wish they would publish. Why wouldn't Assetto Corsa publish that, so everybody would know?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't detail those things, but some drivers seem to find that information. I don't know where they go get that information. But ACC should make it official.
Yeah.
And this is the only battle on the circuit. Everything else is like 3, 4, 5 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a bad battle to watch. Let's do a wing view. These different views, you certainly can see how you get a much more realistic view of the speed.
Yeah, AJ makes it very difficult to pass. It's like I think between Carlo and Derek, and see how he protects his line, and now he's protecting the inside of the turn. So it's gonna be a hard one to pass unless he makes a mistake.
He catches up in the corner. Nice driving.
Yeah, this Group 1 showed really nice driving today, so it's a pleasure to watch. Same thing with Group 2. I think it was a great race. I will watch the replay later, but I think both groups displayed lots of discipline and good skills, and lots of pleasure to follow.
Yeah, but I don't think Barcelona provides very good crashes, so we'll have to wait till the next race.
Yeah, next race will be fun. Yeah.
Where are we next week, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Snetterton. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's one of my favorite tracks. Darn.
Derek is very close now.
He is,
I mean,
yeah.
He is.
yeah.
He's not screwing around, is he?
No, it could, if he gets
But
close enough.
AJ's on a rail though. He's just. Look at that.
Okay, so now will he get close enough to get the slipstream?
I don't think so.
No.
No, it just doesn't have the speed. It doesn't have the straight line speed of the Audi.
No. Yeah, so I think we have our podium here with 4 minutes to go. Chris Moses, John Saunders, Chris Bourne. I don't think anyone will go get those guys.
No, I think you're right. Because Saunders is losing another. He lost another half second there or more.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, 3 seconds behind now.
We hit the curb there.
Yeah, see, that's where Derek gets closer to AJ.
Yeah, and going down into the hairpin here, this is a great opportunity to overtake.
Yeah, but
You've got to be real close. You've got to be closer than that, though. Yeah, you've got to be right up the tailpipe.
That's it.
Great concentration for these two guys, though. Been racing for 47 minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We all know it's not as easy as it looks.
No, it doesn't. And,
Not at all.
and you know, to have someone follow you that close, you know, hats off to AJ. It's not easy. It's not easy to handle.
And Derek's part not to overcook it, trying to get a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Merch is within a second of Carlos now.
Yeah, and I would assume that Carlo has a little bit of aero damage here and there because he's taken a few bumps, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Derek had to lay off a bit there.
Yeah, I think it's this Carlo versus Merche is going to be a little bit spicy because you know Merche is going to have the bit between his teeth.
Yeah,
there's no two ways about it. He's going to want that place.
Yeah, the thing is, I believe Carlo might have damage to the front of the star. He might be a little slower than he was before. That's the reason why he's more vulnerable now.
Yeah, and any damage he has, it's going to really be a telltale down the straight. He's going to lose a lot of time down the straight. So let's see what Merche can do.
Flip to him when they get to the straight. Oh, great corner there. Great exit for Derek.
Yeah,
and
same
AJ.
Place. Derek captures to AJ exactly at the same place lap after that.
He's so close, isn't he?
That's hard to do too.
It is very hard to do without hitting the car in front, lap after lap.
Without laying off too much and then losing time overall.
So now he's closer than he's ever been.
He's not close enough though. He's still not close.
That's not going to work. Let's see if Merche can catch up with Carlos on the straight. He gained 1/10 of a second. Yeah, he did catch up.
Yeah, he did.
Well, actually, Carlo, those guys are catching up. Carlo's getting closer as well.
To the guys ahead, yeah.
Yeah, he's
running out of time though.
This
This should be the last lap, is that right?
It should be, you're right.
So why don't we go back to Chris Moses and just follow him and his victory tour.
Yeah.
Here we are. 3-second lead.
I'll keep an eye on AJ or the 4th, 5th, and 6th battle.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah, I
someone-
don't think much is gonna happen there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. As
And
much
you
as I
have
want to see some pandemonium, it's just not going to
we
happen.
might get one more lap. I think this is going to be the last lap. I don't know if it is or not.
This is the last lap. This is the
Okay,
last
there it
lap.
is. There it is. There's the checkered flag
And
for
here
Moses.
goes
There
Chris,
comes. There's
John
Saunders.
Saunders and Chris Bourne in P3. But hey, Chris Bourne is almost 15 seconds, 16 seconds behind. I mean, those guys really dominated the field.
Well, that's the Lamborghini.
Yeah.
That's the difficulty level of the Lambo, I think.
Yeah.
And there we go for 4th and 5th.
AJ Jones and Derek Bird, like bumper to bumper. Nice racing.
There's Merch.
Great race from Group 1. Great race.
Yeah, it was a great race. So let's see if I can get
Yeah.
some of these guys in. I've remembered now if I get somebody into the booth.
Well, gentlemen, I will let you go say great coverage of the race, and talk to you next week. Thank you for having me.
Oh, great to have you, your voice again.
Thank you.
I don't.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for having me, mate.
Yeah, I don't
Cheers.
see anybody in the
Bye-bye.
chat, so I can't
Bye-bye.
drag anybody in. So yeah, great race, you guys. Thanks for helping, and it was fun to do it. We'll see you again next week.
All right.